Do you know what I like to do after a long day at work? I like to look at some baseball cards. I got a few things in the mail that I would like to show you the past few days. And then I once again have some random cards that I pulled out from my sorting just to take a look at. First, I got this 1971 Jack in the Box, Alex Johnson. Most of you, if you're familiar with the Jack in the Box cards, are probably familiar with the 1969 ones that are upright. These are sideways ones. And they're blank back. And most collectors will know Alex Johnson because in 1970 he won the batting title, and he's featured on this 1971 card. Now, Clean Cheap Shots did a series of interviews recently. He had interviewed Eddie Watt, the pitcher for the Orioles and the Phillies. But he did a series of 3 interviews, and it was fantastic. It was a fantastic watch. I'm going to put the link in the description of this video. You should check it out. Any baseball fan should check it out. So, I had to pick up some Eddie Watt cards after watching that. I already had this one, but this is so sharp, so I picked it up. And this is one of those cards that I just remember as a kid. Didn't know who Eddie Watt was. I just remember this card. It's just one of those cards that's stuck in my mind. And I always remember that image. So when you have a card that's special and nostalgic like that, you can't have too many of them. And I got this 1968 signed card. And on that interview, he was talking about how much mail he gets and that he gets a steady stream of cards. And here he is with the Phils in 75. He made it sound like his wife gets a little upset all the mail he gets. Oh, you TTMers out there. But man, I'm thankful for TTMers because I'm sure that's who I buy all my autograph cards from. Here's another one, 1972 Bob Johnson. I just, on my last video, showed his Puerto Rican League sticker along with my Satchel Paige. I got a 1962 Dick Groat. I think I already have this card, but it's a real nice example. And these cards, all these vintage cards, are so cheap now. I just won a 1964 Topps coin, Al Kaline, for $2. And I had to laugh because I didn't even have to lie about, I always lie and say I pay $3 for every card. I didn't even have to do that. I went under my $3 budget. And I've been working on this Panhandle scrap set. The year's escaping me. These are from 1910, 11, 12, somewhere in there. And they have different ones. They have they show, like, I have one from the Colosseum in Rome. I have one of the pyramids. They have the Great Duke, the Great Surfer. And they have Olympic type sports, but they have this series of swimmers, and I've been working on this swimming set. So I got this one. And let's see here. I got 2 2012 prisms for my set I've been working on. And that's Matt Cain. That's a regular one. I showed a green one. I got a green one, and then I got this Dominance one. Insert. I got a couple of Joey Porter Jr. cards. This one's numbered. I like collecting, especially Steelers on Penn State cards. And Chris Boswell. That's a really cool image. And I got some C.J. Stroud. And this image on this leaf is just fantastic. And I think they do a good job with their images. I don't usually collect NFL players in their college uniforms unless they went to Pitt or Penn State. But this is just a cool image. Great image. And I got this acetate thing. It's like he's a statue and they cut out the turf like it's the base of a bobblehead type of statue, I guess. Cool looking card. And I got this Topps Now. And I saw a video, somebody was showing this, and they said they got it with their Topps points. And I was like, Topps has points? I can earn points? I must have a boatload. So I went and checked. And apparently you have to sign up for that, and I never did. So I missed out on so many cards. So many free cards, or so much money I wouldn't have to spend. I've been buying these Topps Nows for years, since they came out. When was the first year? 2016, I think. So I got a few Topps Now. I got Ohtani and Acuna. MVPs. And I got the Cy Youngs. I got Blake Snell. And Garrett Cole. And then just a couple, well, more than a couple, a few random cards that I pulled out. I thought I'd show. And I like cards that many other people don't. If you've been watching my channel, you certainly know that. But this one struck me. This is Charlie Huff. And Charlie Huff was known around the Dodgers organization that he basically hit every batter he ever faced. But this card reminds me of the older pitcher in the movie Major League. He played a long time. And at the end of his career, he went to the franchise, the expansion team, the Marlins, and struck out the first batter in Marlins history. And later that year, became the oldest pitcher to throw a shutout. Knuckleballer. And weaker hitters couldn't touch that thing. But he did give up a home run to Reggie Jackson in the World Series. It's funny, he has he has almost as many losses as he has wins. Interesting player. And here's Kenny Rogers. And this is when he threw a perfect game. And I love to collect cards of major events in baseball history. And so, you know, in 1991, the Donruss made this card of Nolan Ryan. But they also made the tribute card when he hit 5,000 strikeouts. And the following year, Pacific made one honoring his 7th no-hitter. Number 7. And I just stumbled across these from the Boom era. Who remembers wanting Cecil Espy when he came up? And here's a really cool Ivan Rodriguez. There's a old Jimmy Fox premium I have, and it's just a big face of him in a face mask because he came up as a catcher, and it reminds me of that card. Here's Julio Franco, Pinnacle. We got some Boom era cards, and this Irod, man, he just he looks so powerful in that pose, like he's gonna rip the cover off the ball if he hits it. And kind of a cool Juan Gonzalez. And Tom Hankey, I used to like to watch him pitch. That's kind of a cool card. And this card is really great looking. And this is Billy Ripken. And it looks like he just, one of my Pirates just hit into a double play. Tried to take him out at second base. But just a cool looking card. You know, when you go through, or at least for me, when I go through the Boom era cards, like people give me a big box of them, and you know, I didn't watch a lot of baseball in the 90s. I was having a lot of fun in the 90s, and I didn't watch a lot of baseball, and I didn't collect baseball cards after the very early 90s. So a lot of those cards I didn't have growing up, and I go through them, and you know, it's easy just to think of them as, you know, junk cards. There's a bunch of players and prospects you never heard of, and they all start to look a little bit alike after a while. But sometimes I enjoy going through and pulling out the gems of them, the ones that have really cool images or cool looking cards, or things that just little tidbits of information, like finding history in baseball or whatever, like finding this one, number 7. This came out of a box that a guy gave me, and it's a neat card. I had never seen it before. So, hey, that's what I have for you. Thanks for hanging out with me.